Right now, clinical trials in oncology have a 94% failure rate. There's no other industry in the world that would accept that kind of failure rate.
The patient, more often than not, is subjected to off-target toxicities. 9 times out of 10, these toxicities come with no benefit to the patient.
Our friends in infectious disease have been testing to see which antibiotics to use to treat an infection for 100 years. They have the tools to tell them which drugs a bacteria is resistant to and which drugs it might be sensitive to.
We believed that this failure rate was unacceptable, so we decided to come up with a way to test in the human cancer patient.
We're looking at a very simple way to actually inject the volume of 1/5 of a raindrop of each drug or drug combination and seeing in that patient's cancer, does that drug work or do the cancer cells laugh at it?
That's the sort of thing that's going to help us understand how patients are similar, how they can be treated similarly, and how we really shouldn't treat patients all the same. The Civo clinical device is in patients right now. And really what the trial is looking at is the ability to predict response to systemic treatment.
So far we've taken drugs that are standard of care drugs, and we want to really move that into saying, as you're deciding which drugs to bring to clinical trial, wouldn't it be interesting if we could use human tumors in human patients to make that decision rather than cancer cells growing on a plastic dish or in a mouse?
I think in 10 years we're going to look at the way we do clinical trials and think of how uninformed we were going into those trials. With Presage's Civo technology, we're going to be able to look directly at several different drugs and combinations in a single patient to understand which drugs those patients are responding to.
Ultimately, the vision of Presage technology would be to lead the charge in terms of a paradigm shift in the way cancer drugs are currently developed.